Hi, I'm Jack West, medical oncologist at Swedish Cancer Institute and the founder and CEO of GRACE, the global resource for advancing cancer education. I wanted to talk briefly about a development in cancer care that's actually only tangentially related to a new cancer drug being developed, but it's about the pricing of that drug and a new effort to have some sensibility and physician input in that process. And specifically, this is related to an op-ed piece that was done by a group of physicians from Memorial Sloan Kettering, published in the New York Times about a month ago. And it described a drug called Zaltrap that is priced very aggressively at $11,000 per month, and that the physicians at Memorial Sloan Kettering, who are experts in GI oncology, felt that this particular agent does not offer any meaningful benefit over drugs that are available now, specifically Avastin or bevacizumab, that is priced at about half that, which is really not a great bargain, but not at the level of Zaltrap, which is also known as aflibercept. And this is important because these expert physicians at Memorial Sloan Kettering said that at our institution, we are not, as a policy, going to use Zaltrap because it does not provide any meaningful benefit and costs way too much. And up until this point, really, physicians have not been able to add a lot of input into the pricing of drugs, as we've seen the cost of cancer care escalate to what has become crisis levels of unsustainability. It's not that 5-10 years ago it was inexpensive. New drugs were typically being introduced at a price point of about $5,000 per month. But over the last 2 and 3 years, what we've seen is an increase to a level typically around $10,000 per month. And there's just been no ability to contain that at all. The most remarkable part of this story from Memorial Sloan Kettering is that the company that introduced Zaltrap, Sanofi, has actually cut the price by half in response. Now, in fact, that only puts it at the level of Avastin, and the drug is not clearly better and has some side effect issues, but it at least shows some change in this game of chicken in the pricing of cancer drugs. And so it is at least a development to see a company blink at the influence of actual cancer practitioners to change the pricing of drugs and say, this is just not fair, that oncologists are having to choose between giving treatments to our patients and worrying about bankrupting the country, the healthcare system. There's still a lot of work to do, and the authors, the investigators from Memorial Sloan Kettering point out that this was about a drug that really doesn't offer any clear benefits over a drug that's already available, and it's going to be a difficult new problem to talk about cost containment for a drug that is new in class and isn't just an alternative to a drug already available. But it at least shows some proof of principle that oncologists and other people can start to become part of the discussion of the cost of drugs and hopefully influence that, keeping it from becoming completely uncontrollable in the next several years.